I'd say this, the makeup job on Viserys. Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
Where he's like, let me take my mask off.
Yeah.
Like, no. Well, you can leave that
You could
on.
at least have waited till after dinner. I mean,
Right.
it's like,
Hey, Internet. It's Paul. It's Matt. The Dork Lords. We're here talking about House of the Dragon. Season 1, Episode 8. Lord of the Tides. We open with another time jump. We've moved forward 6 years. In Driftmark, Rhaenys receives word that Corlys has been grievously wounded, gotten an infection, and will likely die. Corlys' brother, Vaemond, is already making a claim for the throne, but Rhaenys is sticking with her husband's intentions as stated last episode. He wanted the name to continue, so Rhaenys is prepared to put Laenor's son, Lucerys, on the throne, even though everyone knows unofficially he's not Laenor's son. We end with the long-awaited death of the practically superhuman Viserys. The guy hung on for another 6 years. Anyway, strongly hinted at he was being poisoned the whole damn time. Anyway, before he dies, in a daze, he babbles about the prophecy to Alicent. She hears the name Aegon, wrongly assumes he's talking about her son because everyone's named Aegon, and that misunderstanding will lead to years more of bloodshed. That said, Paul.
Yes.
What'd you think of episode 8?
I like this one too. They had plenty of machinations and everything. So yeah, I was very satisfied.
Yeah, I felt like the episode was highlighted in some ways by two set pieces. You had the court hearing on the issue of succession, and then the family dinner. And like those, obviously there was more to it, but those were I think the episode was highlighted by those two events.
Yeah, and I thought it was really interesting the way that they, you've been saying, and I think you're not wrong, that they're doing a lot to sort of make your sympathies lie with Rhaenyra.
Yes.
So, and I think that's partly because where they're going. There's going to be trouble, and she's the one who's, in the position that everybody wants, So it's like, if we hated her, and it's sort of like, why don't they just kill her? Why don't they just get rid of her? Which, you don't want the audience to feel. You want people to be on her side, even as she beds her uncle. So I feel like that's sort of understandable, even though you sort of like, those kids of hers, I like them better than Alicent's kids. Much better.
I mean, by miles. It's literally not even close.
No, it's not.
I mean, that's...
Although, actually, no, the girl, though, their daughter, I'd be fine with hanging out with her.
Yeah. So, on that note, you've got, Aegon, the oldest son, basically, is sexually assaulting serving women.
Yep.
Betraying his sister wife, whatever, Elena.
Yes.
And we see Alicent's going around quieting all the scandals.
Yes.
I thought she was going to kill that girl. I don't know. I thought there was it felt very tense in that moment. Like, is she going to command this girl to be killed off or something?
Wow. You didn't buy that she was sympathetic?
No.
Wow. I did.
I mean, I bought that she was just terrified of this woman talking about Aegon. So how do I shut this up? She gives her cash. She, gives her the tea.
You thought she was terrified?
Well, I mean, Alicent is desperate to keep the reputation of her family. And
sure, but I think she feels confident that she could buy this girl off, and if she makes her take the tea, then it's, we don't have any reason not to think that will actually result in the termination of the pregnancy. So, it's like she's not angry at all. So I feel like, and the way I was convinced that she was sympathetic to that girl.
Okay. I took it as what you went through doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is that you talk about it. So how do I keep you from talking about it? I'm going to assess calmly whether you will talk about it. And if I come to a conclusion in the next 5 minutes that you will, you'll be dead. This tea that I'm going to give you is going to be too strong, and it will kill you. So that's what I got out of it.
Wow. See, I'm more sympathetic to the one that I don't like than you are.
Okay, no, I feel like she's
she's evil. It's like, well, I think she's
still a terrible mom.
Towards, and that's another thing I think they're doing there with, the end of it, where she's willing to make nice with Rhaenyra until she finds a reason to go crazy.
That moment was the most humanizing, certainly for her, that we've seen in a long time, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, because I kind of feel like she knows what she certainly knows what a piece of crap Aegon is. It doesn't seem like we haven't seen a scene where she can see what a terror her other kid is, but, she
has to know.
So I feel like she shouldn't be.
She's a terrible mom.
She shouldn't be.
And I feel like I thought of that scene that she was a terrible person. But okay, no, you're right. She was sympathetic.
You have to agree with me. You don't agree with me.
I am not empathizing with Alicent at all.
You're
literally 0% empathy with Alicent. And then, of course, she misunderstands the king at the end of it. So It's even like, maybe she's turned a leaf and then, oh no, I heard the word Aegon. Oh, awesome. My son. Woo! Let's do this. God bless.
It's like, and somebody could have been in there, even if, like Rhaenyra had been in there, but there's another Aegon, there's another Aegon.
In fact, my kid is named Aegon as well, so. Okay, you. And I would get, while Alicent is passing out teas to all of these sexual assault victims, obviously, one would think there's bastards on the way. I mean, there's, that's a thing.
Yeah, if they ever get a Starbucks, maybe they can just make that, Alicent can just hand them out all the time. It's like, oh, this one says, oh, is this you? Here you go. Here's your tea.
It's like a $5 coupon.
Yeah.
Here, just take this over. And as you guessed last episode, the eye patch only serves to make Aemon look, so much more villainous.
Yes.
He's now pirate villain. He couldn't look more evil. Yeah. Honestly, it's like, oh, that guy's evil. If you just looked at him across the table and he was just reciting the alphabet, you'd be like, that guy's evil. He's evil. It's a terrible family. Yeah. It's a terrible family.
They do dearly suck.
Woo. But so Helena is your one possible bright spot. She issues another cryptic prophecy. This is during the family dinner. And she's already issued some prophecies that have, come true. She talks about Aemon losing an eye and stuff. Kind of just under her breath, she says, beware the beast beneath the boards. That is cryptic enough. It's very cryptic. Well done, Helena. That it doesn't just match up with something, per se. But it could be a reference to, and I'll do book spoilers, whatever, if you're out there and you're like, don't spoil stuff. Again, jump ahead 30 seconds. Could be a reference to blood and cheese. So blood and cheese are assassins. Blood is a butcher. Cheese is a rat catcher. And so maybe that beast beneath the boards could be a reference to rats. I don't know. Anyway, but they're sent to kill one of her children. And it's actually, it's a tough scene to read, much less see. So it'll probably be, if I had to guess, a standout, wince-worthy episode from season 2.
One of Helena's children?
Yeah.
Oh.
Let's say this, the makeup job on Viserys. Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
When he's like, let me take my mask off.
Yeah.
Like, no. Well, you can leave that on.
You could at least have waited till after dinner. I mean, it's like, it's like, I've had enough. Thank you.
And I'll give the whole family credit for not going, oh my God.
Yeah.
They're trying to be nice to him because he's the king and related. But I would be like, oh my Jesus. Let's put it back. You've shown us. Great. We know now. We have the mental image burned in our brains. Put the mask back on, for God's sake.
Aegon's like, someone take the other eye, please. It's like,
oh God. He's basically Two-Face. right? I mean, it was really grotesque. It was like, yikes.
Yeah.
He kind of actually, and maybe this is intentional, I don't know. He reminds me with that, the whole gap in the face and then his jaw lining is gone, whatever. He kind of looks like one of the whites that will one day invade. Like it's almost like he's, this prophecy that he's trying to avoid. He's almost becoming one.
Wow.
Yeah. And that whole scene where, because he comes to court, it turns the whole scene on its head. Is all right, this is gonna go one way because Alicent is gonna rule on something that may or may not favor Rhaenyra.
Yeah.
I wonder which way she'll so suddenly here he is, and just that whole scene of him using the cane to walk painfully and they just let it go. And it was actually good.
Damon comes in, to help him out.
Yep. But it's still just painfully slow. Like,
it's amazing that chair didn't kill him once he sat down.
I know. I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, he's going to sit down and be like, oh, God, my back.
It's like somebody give him another chair, please.
Yeah, exactly. A cushion.
Yeah.
He's literally a zombie, and you're like, nah, it's fine.
I feel like Otto's probably smart enough to have special cushions put in his, when he sits down on it.
Bran Stark had a wheelchair. Did they? That's many years later. Did they not have wheelchair technology yet?
Apparently not. No,
yeah. They're like, no, you just walk.
Maybe that episode is coming up.
Right. So that scene is obviously very impactful, and then Vaemond. I have to assume he knows he's going to be executed when he stands up and he's like, "Your kids are bastards," and he says it publicly. I mean, there's no way.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he's saying it to the wrong people.
Oh, I agree that he is. It's just that I feel like I wondered if he just thought someone might come to his aid or something.
Okay. Yeah, it's possible. I kind of got the opinion he was like, I'm just going to go out and I'll just say what I believe and go out. I don't know. Maybe because the wiser course would have been secretly mumble and then leave. But no, he's like, chop my head off.
Oh, please. Yeah, that would have been the wiser course. Yes, I agree. I guess, actually, the threat that he made is not, let's chop your head off, it would cut out your tongue. So maybe that's what he thought. Maybe he thought, okay.
I'll just lose my tongue. Yeah, that's fine.
I can live without my tongue. I can write. I can live
with that. He becomes a graffiti
artist. Yeah, he invents graffiti, and he...
he was our big notable death of the other than Viserys, obviously, at the end.
Yes.
So there's family dinner happens, and I do like that they turned it briefly into like a heartfelt family.
Yeah.
Like, that was I didn't think it was going to go that way, frankly.
The
fact that they did turn it that way in a legit feeling way, I was like, all right, well done, show.
And it seems like this is the only story reason why you have the Song of Ice and Fire or whatever you mention of it, because it really doesn't apply to this story at all.
Right.
But because of the warning that existed, he tells her and she misunderstands. So
right. It's this prophecy thing, has this way of causing as much chaos as it solves.
Right.
So it was cool. And then of course it's the kids, the teenagers now. They're all new actors, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Are jerks to each other because they hate each other.
Right.
Although we do have the bit where the deal that was brokered to get Rhaenys's cooperation is Rhaenyra's like, all right, you support my son, and then my sons will marry my stepdaughters.
Yes.
And so that's the deal. And so anyway, so they seem to be getting along fine. What, Jace and Luke?
Yes.
So now that Viserys is dead, we assume, right? He took his last breath?
No, he took his last breath. Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah. That would be hilarious if next episode he's like, anyway, I'd like to have another dinner. I know, but so in the book, Alicent and Otto hide his death for about a week or so until they can get their kid Aegon ready to be crowned.
Wow, you're going to spoil the next episode.
Well, but that's the thing. It's different because Rhaenyra in the book is off in Dragonstone. So here, she's actually in King's Landing when he dies.
Ah. Is she?
So, I think so, right?
She said she was coming back, but I feel like,
the dinner.
But I feel like, I don't know. I mean, they didn't show her arrive. I wonder if like getting back and then coming back by, is not like immediate, like the next day as she was planning.
Right, it probably wouldn't be. I was just thinking, okay, well maybe you're right. Maybe the show just implied that she left. I thought it might be really cool if she hasn't left and then they have to lie to her face. Because otherwise it would be like, oh, the ravens were sent and you got a message far too late. But in this case, if she's like, well, thought I might pay a visit to my dad one last time. He's got a thing and it's not a good time. He's asleep. They prop him up.
Right.
So I love you, daughter. Goodbye. But anyway, so we'll see how they play it out. Maybe you're right. Maybe it's just
Weekend
like
of Viserys.
She's left. Yeah, right. Weekend of Viserys. That's awesome. So yeah, maybe they'll just play it that way. But it would be kind of interesting if they let her leave. They're like, just get her out of here. So they're like, oh, he's still alive and fine. Goodbye. Go back. Great. And then. So the story takes place basically the same as the book, but with the exception of they had to actually lie right up front to her. It'd be kind of interesting. Anyway, we'll see. It's an effective drama. It really does bring you in. The immediacy of these people with their own agendas, and you could see them. You could see again the wheels turning. Like, if I make this move in this moment, what will that do to my future prospects?
Right.
And it's really interesting to watch it all unfold. So I commend the show.
I think that it's interesting that R.R. Martin has said that Paddy Considine's performance kind of makes him want to go back and fill in, a lot of the things that he didn't, put in there. It's like I actually had a friend tell me that he's been struggling with these episodes actually, because he was saying that it was like watching the Cliff Notes, and because of the jumps in time, I suppose, and certainly people were curious about, and I think they did a good job of making you care about Damon's wife before she passed, and so people were curious more about what those marriage years were like.
For Viserys in the book, it is more that he's the starting point for the action.
Right.
He's not really the action itself.
Right.
The action is really taking place amongst these kids and their parents, and not so much Viserys.
Yeah. So I really admire that they've done this, really, because it's like this is the better way to do exposition. Yeah. It's like no, we showed you all this. What is it? 8 episodes of preamble to the actual story.
Right. But in an engaging way.
Yes.
You can easily make that really boring, and they didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't.
Yeah.
It's it all feels like it's worthwhile to watch it unfold. So yeah, really cool. We'll be back talking about episodes 9 and 10. And we're finishing off the season finales for Rings of Power and She-Hulk. So come on back.
Maybe they'll cross over.
Maybe there'll be a crossover. maybe there will. So come on back for all that. Thank you as always, Paul. Appreciate
you're
it,
welcome.
sir. And we'll talk to everybody next time. Bye.
Bye.